Hi, I'm Heather from Heather Handmade, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a zipper pouch. This zipper pouch is fun and easy. It's a great way to learn or practice sewing a zipper. You can choose really fun fabric for the outside or for the inside. The zipper pouch is fully lined and it can carry any necessities that you want. In this video I work with a 9-inch zipper, so that's what I would recommend. For this project we are going to be using only quilting cotton fabric. So you need an outside fabric, and I'm going to use this floral and metallic fabric for the outside. You're going to need a lining fabric, and I'm using this yellow. And then you are going to need a 9-inch zipper. So the first thing we're going to do is to cut out the rectangles for the outer fabric. So I'm going to cut 2 rectangles that are 7 inches tall and 11 inches wide. Next, we are going to cut out 2 of the same size pieces for the lining. So I'm actually just going to use one of the pieces I already cut. Now we're going to cut little tabs that are going to go over the end of the zipper. And to do that, you're going to cut a small rectangle that is 2 1/4 inches long by the width of the zipper. So this zipper is about 1 1/4 inches wide. So that's how wide mine will be. If you have a smaller zipper, then make yours slightly smaller. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the tabs onto the ends of the zipper, but my zipper tape is a little bit too long. I want the zipper tape to be 1/2 inch past this, the bottom of the zipper and the top of the zipper. So I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to trim. It's about 1/4 inch that I'm trimming off of the end. Next, I'm going to pin this tab on to the end of the zipper. So I'm doing just one side. This is the short side of the rectangle, and I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the zipper tape. And then on the other side, I want to do the same thing, but I'm actually going to move the zipper into the middle, because that pole will get in the way. It's kind of bulky. So then I'm pushing the end as close together as I can. And I'm going to do the same by pinning the short end of the rectangle to the zipper tape. Now I'm going to sew across here and here with a back stitch, and I'm going to be sewing with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If this edge of the zipper, it kind of gets in the way of your foot, you can put in the zipper foot if you want, so that your needle can go next to the top of the zipper. You do not want to sew on these metal things because they will break your needle. Now you're going to take your fabric on the ends of the tab. You're going to fold it out like this. You're going to fold your short end in to meet the edge of the zipper, and then you're going to fold it again, and it will come right next to the edge of the top of the zipper or the bottom of the zipper, and you're going to pin that fold in place. You want this fold to cover the stitches that you have already put in, so that you'll have a nice finished edge like that, and then do the same to the other side. Now we're going to sew just a top stitch along this edge, and it will secure this fabric on the back at the fold. Now we are going to pin our fabric onto the zipper. So this is the right side of the zipper, so you're going to take your outer fabric and you are going to line up this long raw edge with one side of the zipper tape, and when you pin it on, I'll flip it over so you can see better. You want to have a 1/2 inch space on each side. You can mark that if you want, or you can just use a ruler and line it up. So I'm pinning this side, then I'm going to go to this side, then I'm going to pin through the middle. I'm keeping my zipper pull in the center for now, but I'll show you what we do when we sew so that we can keep it out of the way of the sewing machine or the sewing machine foot while we are sewing. Now you can go along and base this a 1/4 inch from the edge if you like. I like to put my lining fabric on at the same time so that I can just move a little quicker. So I'm going to line up this long raw edge with the zipper tape. Make sure you keep that 1/2 inch gap on the edge. So I've left my needle in the fabric and lifted my sewing machine foot, and now I'm going to put my hand inside and feel for the zipper pull, and I'm going to pull it to the side where I have already sewn, so that now the bump is back here and the zipper pull is not in the way. That means I can sew a nice smooth straight line. So now that I have sewn that, I flipped it right side out and I pressed the fabric away from the zipper like this on both sides. You want to have a nice crisp fold right there. And now we are going to pin the fabric to this other side in the same way. So move your pull to the center. I'll pin the right side of the fabric to the right side of the zipper and make sure that you have 1/2 inch gap on both sides. Then you're going to flip it over to the other side. This is the wrong side of the zipper and the lining fabric, and you are going to pin this lining fabric in the same place as the outer fabric. Now we're going to sew along the edge of the zipper on this side with a zipper foot. Make sure you move the pull while you're sewing so that it doesn't get in the way. So now we can open it up, and I have pressed this fabric that I just sewed. I pressed it away from the zipper just like the other side. So you can kind of see your bag is starting to take shape with the zipper in the middle and the nice tabs. You can see the lining. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to top stitch along this edge to keep both layers of fabric away from the zipper. You want to keep the fabric away so the fabric doesn't get caught in the zipper pull while you are moving the zipper. While you're doing this, you're going to do the same thing where you keep the pull in the middle. You start stitching and come down. When you get close, you can move the pull out of the way and then keep going. Now that this is top stitched, we are going to sew around the edges of the bag. So you're going to take your outer fabric and line it up like this. And then you're going to take your lining fabric and line it up so that the corners line up. So first I'm going to pin these corners, and then let me explain what I'm going to do at the part with the zipper. So as you can see, the zipper is kind of raising up the fabric, and you won't be able to sew over that. It will need to fold one way. So if you can see, this is the gap that you have that we left for the seam allowance, and then we have the tab right here. So when you are going to do it, you want to fold the zipper and the tab towards the outer fabric. So I'm going to line up these edges of the lining fabric and put a pin right here. And then I'm going to pull my outer fabric this way and pin right here. So right now the seams right here are matching up, and the zipper and the tab are folded pointing towards the outer fabric. So we're going to do that again on the other side. Also, before you sew, you need to reach your hand in and pull the zipper about a quarter from the bottom. You don't want it to be at the bottom where it's going to get in the way while you're sewing, but you want it to have a hole so that you want it to be open so that you can turn it right side out. Now we're going to start here, sew and pivot at each corner and sew all the way around the bag. You're going to sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and when you sew, feel and make sure that you don't sew over the tab. Now we're going to take some scissors and we are going to just trim the corners to reduce bulk. Now stick your hand inside and turn it right side out. So I've turned it right side out. I've poked out these corners of the outer fabric, and then you need to reach in and poke out these corners. So you can see this is the tab. This is where it's folding out towards the outer fabric, and I didn't catch the tab, so that is why you can poke it out at that corner, and then do the same to the other side like this. Now the very last step is to pull your lining out and fold it along the seam with your seam allowance pushed inside like this. And then you are going to top stitch this hole closed. And it's okay that you top stitch because it's going to be in the lining, no one's going to see it. Once that is top stitched, you can push it down inside the bag, and your bag, your little pouch is now finished. So you can close it and open it, and it's great for organizing and storing. These make great little gifts, and they are fun and easy to make. Thank you so much for watching my video about making an easy zipper pouch. I can't wait to see all of the zipper pouches you make. Please share it with me on social media. I hope you have a wonderful day.